Hello students. So this is the right foot. Here we can see the medial arch. This is the tendon of tibialis anterior, which acts as a sling from above, and this is the tendon of tibialis posterior, which provides a sustentacular support from beneath. Here we can see its slips going to the navicular, to the calcaneum, to the cuneiforms and the metatarsals. Its slip doesn't go only to the talus, right? Okay, and the medial arch is formed by what? The posterior pillar is formed by the medial tubercle of calcaneum and the medial part of calcaneum. The summit is formed by the head of talus. Somewhere here, if you can see, head of talus is this part is the head of talus and it rests on a very important ligament. This one. This is the plantar calcaneo-navicular ligament or the spring ligament that supports the part of head of talus that does not articulate with navicular or with the this calcaneum. So the unsupported part of talus, the part unsupported by any bone that rests on the spring ligament. So if the spring ligament is lost, then the head of talus will fall down, and that will lead to something called as the flat foot. So the summit is the head of talus, and then the anterior pillar will be formed by the medial three metatarsals, that is the first, second, third, and the three cuneiform bones and the navicular bone. Okay, the cuneiforms are not very visible here because the naviculo cuneiform ligaments are present here. The superior talonavicular ligament is also seen here. I have not removed most of the ligaments, but a very important ligament. This one is the spring ligament that extends from sustentaculum tali of the calcaneum. This is sustentaculum tali, जिसके नीचे there is the groove for flexor hallucis longus. उसके medially there is the groove for flexor digitorum longus, and above that passes the tendon of tibialis posterior. So tibialis posterior also grooves the spring ligament. So spring ligament supports the head of talus. This one is the spring ligament or the plantar calcaneo-navicular ligament, right? Here you can see that, when we walk, the fulcrum is on the heads of metatarsals like this, like this. And this is the tendocalcaneum, which provides the chief propulsive force by the gastrocnemius and soleus for this plantar flexion movement, right? Plus the additional forces provided by the long flexor tendons of the feet, that is flexor hallucis longus, flexor digitorum longus, plus the intrinsic flexors of toes as well, right? So the anterior end of the medial arch lies on the heads of the first three metatarsals. The first metatarsal bearing double weight as compared to the other two because of the presence of two sesamoid bones in the insertion of flexor hallucis brevis muscle, and that also, protects the long tendon of the big toe, that is the flexor hallucis longus, from losing its blood supply because of the weight of body acting on it, right? Plus another function of the arches is that because the long flexors and the neurovascular bundles of the foot, they enter through the medial aspect and they lie in this concavity, so they are not pressed upon by body weight against the ground. So the concavity of the arches, prevents uh, pressure on the long flexor tendons and on the neurovascular bundle of the feet. So this was the medial arch, which has a higher summit, and this resembles a long part of a circle with a smaller radius of curvature, but a large part of this small circle. Hence, its summit is higher. Whereas, if we see the lateral aspect, this is the Now this is the lateral arch. Here you can see that the posterior pillar is again formed by the lateral part of the calcaneum. Uh, then the summit is formed by the calcaneo-cuboid joint, and the anterior pillar is formed by the third and the fourth metatarsals and the cuboid bone, right? And what is acting as sling for this arch? The peroneus tertius from above and the peroneus brevis also slightly, and then peroneus longus जो है that passes beneath the cuboid bone, and it goes on to insert onto the this medial cuneiform and the base of the first metatarsal. So the peroneus longus is acting as a sustentacular support from below for the lateral arch. Here and on the inferior aspect, you can also see the long and the short plantar ligaments. The long plantar ligament actually passes superficial to the peroneus longus to reach the bases of the lateral metatarsals. That part has been cut off, but this is the remaining part of long plantar ligament. This is the short plantar ligament reaching the cuboid bone, right? So the long and the short plantar ligaments, they act as strong supports from the inferior aspect of lateral longitudinal arch, whereas for the medial arch, the spring ligament acts as a very strong support from inferior, the intersegmental tie. Plantar aponeurosis acts as the tie beam for the medial as well as the lateral longitudinal arch. Then the medial plantar muscles, that is the this abductor hallucis, flexor hallucis brevis, medial part of flexor digitorum brevis, medial tendons of flexor digitorum longus, they also act as somewhat as tie beams for the medial longitudinal arch. And similarly, the lateral plantar muscles, that is the abductor digiti minimi, flexor digiti minimi brevis, lateral part of flexor digitorum brevis and lateral tendons of flexor digitorum longus, they are also acting as slightly as tie beams for the lateral longitudinal arch. Right. So we can see that the lateral longitudinal arch has a lower summit as compared to the medial longitudinal arch. So the lateral longitudinal arch is a smaller part of a bigger circle. So the bigger circle has a bigger radius of curvature, but it has a lower summit. Right. Okay. So the functions of arches we have already discussed that they are acting as segmented levers, help in propulsion of the foot. They provide pliability to the foot so that when body weight is borne, these they act as springs which they stretch a little and help in absorbing the shock of the body weight, especially when we are running. Okay, and plus they make the foot pliable and hence they help the foot to adapt to uneven surfaces while walking, right? And obviously I've already told you they protect the plantar vessels and nerves and the long flexor tendons from pressure of the body weight. All right.